Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. Paul Pogba, Patrick Vieira, Memphis Depay, the burning questions you guys asked in the mailbag. We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and Atlanta United won against the New York Red Bulls 2-1. We'll get the match review going very shortly. And yes, a lot of little bits of kind of rumors that basically you guys are fervent over. So we will definitely get into that. But before we do, much love to all of the Patreon members, specifically Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, and Nick. You guys are legends. Thank you so much for your patronage and loyalty. But yes, let's get into the match review. And yeah, the last home match of the 2024 regular season, where we've been struggling, but this match, it was a different story. I mean, New York Red Bulls, who have historically played us tough, and yeah, they've won, or they have been undefeated in 11 of their last 12 games, and have pretty much essentially won or drawn every game but one in the last 10 games against us. Well, we got the better of them finally, and 2-1 win, and at home, no less. It is definitely a monkey off of the back, and yeah, I mean, a very good night where it definitely did seem like kind of going in, it was going to be dire, but the Five Stripes showed up, and yeah, they as far as kind of coming into the match, it's 12th in the Eastern Conference. 34 points and three points out of the playoff cutoff where Toronto FC sat. And then, unfortunately for Toronto, they played Inter Miami and they lost 1-0, which worked in our favor. Toronto, Philly, and DC all sat at 37 points at the beginning of the match. And on Saturday, DC United, they moved up to 40 points. CF Montreal, they sit at 40, and Philly has the same points as us at 37. So none of the teams clinched the playoff spot with this, with the results on Saturday. And so, yeah, there will be a lot to be determined on Decision Day, where two of the these four clubs will get a playoff spot: DC United, CF Montreal, Philly, and Atlanta United. So, we took destiny into our own hands a little bit, and we'll have it all to play for against Orlando City. But Rob Valentino, he said that, quote, "I told them we need to focus on us and put the pressure on every other team. We just needed to win our games. That has been the message." And so, it took a little bit of time. It was basically a red card to Dylan Nealis when he fouled Edwin Mosquera on the outside of the box, and they went down to 10 men. And then Jamal Tiare, he got taken down in the penalty box, where, it was a little bit of a fracas, melee, if you will, and, quite a few people got yellow cards, as well as the benches, but Stan Gregerson, for us, got one as well in the scuffle. But Alexei Miranchuk, he stepped up to the spot, converted it. The keeper guessed right, but it was hit well enough that we were able to get the lead. And it's that all-important first goal for us. When we get that first goal, it's just a shot in the arm, a just boost of confidence that just really, really changes. But yeah, and then we would extend the lead when, in second half stoppage time, Tyler Wolff, he got in behind from a ball by Miranchuk, and it was 1-1 with the keeper, and he scored his first goal of the season. Very well taken, slotted home super well, and it's just, Wolff is that type of player. I feel like that he's been kind of played out of position for most of the season on the left wing. I mean, he is kind of more of that second striker, that player that's maybe not lead the line, but he's that good poacher. He's that clinical in front of goal when he's given the chance. And I think when he can get in the box, that's really when he's most dangerous. And here we saw it. But Wolff kind of mentioned after the game that I tried to stay more central because I know Alexi has a really nice left foot. Obviously, New York, being down a man means they're throwing a lot forward. Once I was in on goal, I was just trying to stay calm in the 1v1, which, he did. Absolutely was that case. He, I think he slowed down in the box, which is something that not every player does. So, yes, much kudos go to Wolff for that. But so as far as Hernandez coming in for Brooks Lennon, it definitely, with Lennon not being available due to yellow card accumulation and a number of other players that missed the match, we were able to do the business, and boy did we need that. But Valentino talked about Ronald Hernandez, and he said, quote, "He shows up every single day to do his job to the best of his ability, and he hasn't played in a long time, so to put in a performance like that, play longer than 45 minutes was incredible. He played the whole match, and it just is a testament to who he is as a person, but that is a good example of a good pro." And Hernandez has been kind of maligned for kind of his play throughout the years, but definitely he showed up big this match. Much love to him, and he played a lights out match. I think he really, I think from an efficiency standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, he looked alert, ready, and stopped a good number of Red Bull attacks. So, and especially the one off of the line. So, definitely he was needed in this match. And, a really, really kind of dominating match to a degree as well from Atlanta United. 20 shots on goal, 6 on target, 63% possession, XG of 2.9, which, when you have a penalty and then you have a 1v1, those count pretty high, but still, I think we were peppering them early in the match in the first half where, corners, free kicks, we just lacked the final ball, really. And, New York Red Bulls finished with just 7 shots, 2 on target, and 0.9 XG. So, they did get that goal, but that was the one thing that I hoped for the Five Stripes, was that we were able to get a clean sheet, but unfortunately that was not the case. But so what's next for Atlanta United is the last match of the season on decision day to take on Orlando City at the Kitties Stadium. But it will be a spicy one for sure. But that will be next week. But we will have that preview later on next week. So let's get into the news. And Atlanta United are in 12th. We are on the outside looking in a playoff spot, but all we have to do to take care of business is to win and also hope for other sorts of results here as well, because, well, yeah, so Atlanta United, to qualify for the playoffs on decision day, will need to win and at least two of the following three outcomes: a loss for CF Montreal at home versus NYCFC, a loss for DC United at home versus Charlotte FC, a draw or loss for Philly at home versus FC Cincy. So it really is all to play for all the teams, and it, I guess from an MLS standpoint, that's what makes it interesting on the last day, I suppose. And Rob Valentino, he mentioned that, I just hope that the players, as I've told them before, would just focus on us, put the pressure on every other team by winning our game. And I would hope that was what happened, but maybe it was a little bit of what they saw, that Toronto lost, and then they felt they got more hype and believed it. We can only control what we can, so the next match is Orlando City away, and we need to go and try to win the match. Everyone on decision day is going to be trying to win their matches and either finish as high as possible or make the playoffs. So, definitely all to play for sure. So, somehow we have failed forward into the way of being able to get still a playoff spot in what is likely still probably one of our worst seasons, if not the worst season in Atlanta United history. But so Alexei Miranchuk, he made the MLS team of the match day with his goal and assist. Much deserved for Miranchuk. Really well taken for sure. MLS found Atlanta United committed the first violation of the mass confrontation policy. It was in the 69th minute, MLS formally warned the club and its coach, Bartosz Szlich, was fined for inciting and or escalating the mass confrontation, even though it didn't really seem like that was the case. But, it digresses, so either way. Moving on, Atlanta United are up for several MLS End of the Year awards. MLS MVP Saba Lapcenice, MLS Newcomer of the Year Stian Gregerson, Bartosz Szlich, MLS Young Player of the Year Jay Fortune, MLS Defender of the Year Brooks Lennon, Goalkeeper of the Year Brad Guzan, Audi Goals Drive Progress Impact Award Jay Fortune. So, congrats to them for being nominated. The likelihood of any of them winning, unfortunately, is probably quite low with the form that we've had this season. So, I would say, maybe the most likely is MLS Young Player of the Year with Jay Fortune, but even that might still be a little bit removed, but we'll see. I mean, Saba definitely has been our best player along with Brad Guzan this year, but when you have a goalkeeper, kind of having one of their best years, it's usually not in the MLS MVP talk, unfortunately. So, but Brad Guzan, if anybody, also should be in that conversation. But next bit of news is, Paul Pogba. Well, Fabrizio Romano, he tweeted out or X-posted, Paul Pogba and Juventus expected to agree on contract termination as he will become a free agent. Talks to follow from tomorrow after CAS verdict, as Paul will be available from March. Paul Pogba also feels a fresh start that would be best solution for him and his career. Obviously, he has been suspended for kind of a drug use, which he has been serving a suspension. And, as far as that, he's a player that definitely divides opinion. That's for sure. But Matt Doyle, MLS writer, He said, "Look, it'd be hard to justify taking a swing on a guy who's missed so much time via suspension and also has a terrifying injury history. But man, could you imagine Pogba running the show in Atlanta?" And that just set off a flurry of, pontification and people just basically thinking, what if Pogba, the younger one, showed up at LA United? But a very kind of dodgy source, Tejano Deportes, says, sources, Pogba and his team are in discussions with multiple MLS teams, the two from Ohio, a blue team in New York, and two teams out west in LA. Still very early in the negotiation process, but inquiries about the French superstar have been made. I think it's very unlikely that that many MLS teams are in discussion with him. There are the discovery rights, of course, for MLS, and so, likely it's just one team, and maybe there are some other teams that might be interested that might be trying to negotiate with that team that has the discovery rights. But we shall see. But it is, Paul Pogba, 31-year-old, a player that played for Man U, a player that played, of course, for Juventus, France as well. Some of his best seasons, with Juve, it was in 2015 and 16, 8 goals, 12 assists in 35 matches in a season. With Man U, he had 13 goals and 9 assists in the 2018 and 19 season. He hasn't really played that much, obviously, in the past 2 seasons. But the season before that, he had 9 assists and 1 goal in 20 matches. He, of course, has won the World Cup with the French national team. I mean, a very, very talented midfielder. 6'3", of course, as well, a unit. Very good on the ball. Can shoot as well. Can play anywhere from attacking midfielder, central midfielder, to defensive midfielder. And it's just kind of the bummer that the doping ban has pretty much marred his progress, because this is a player that definitely got world attention everywhere he played. His the wacky colors of the dyeing of his hair, the bravado, just a player that really just gains a lot of attention. And if he was going to come to LA United, obviously Florentin Pogba, his older brother, did play here. It's not the other one that, unfortunately, Matthias Pogba is under trial for kind of a ring to essentially kind of extort him for whatever it is that they were trying to extort him for, money, resources. But yeah, very, very sad ordeal there with his family member. But we saw all those photos of Paul Pogba wearing LA United kits, so it's really not that crazy for us to see him in 5 stripes. But yeah, and so Pogba does apparently have a Miami home. Obviously, there's a lot of kind of, I guess, all around the league, pretty much most teams are trying to kind of be like Inter Miami in the sense now where you bring in these big names, and Miami could even try to bring in Paul Pogba, but LA, New York, it all could be part of the of those discussions of where Paul Pogba would end up. But I think ultimately it will have to be seen. But with the possible hire of Patrick Vieira, where he is heavily rumored here. Well, both are French. Patrick Vieira definitely has that connection from a French standpoint, where his ability as a midfielder too. Paul Pogba could have a lot to learn from Vieira, where it could be a good little partnership here in Atlanta. So will it be? We will see. But yeah, that is the news, and it gets us to the mailbag. And you guys send in these questions through IG Story and Discord. Please continue to do so, and we might answer your question in the future. Good questions this time, and first question comes from greatest Josh Cohen fan. If we magically go into the playoffs, we will face Miami, and our recent track record means we can do something hilarious. How will we do in the playoffs as of right now? Well, yeah, we are undefeated versus Inter Miami this season, and not many teams can say that. But yeah, it obviously will be a very, very difficult, a difficult foray for us to do that. If we can, it would be insane. I think, if we get past Miami, well, it's still, we have it all to do. We have FC Cincy, we have Columbus Crew. It will be a murderer's row of competition. Can we do it? I think Columbus Crew is a little bit more likely somehow. But FC Cincy have always played us tough. So I think, if we somehow get past Miami, that would be just insane. But yeah, next question comes from Tortured Sababa Time fan. What date will the new coach and GM be announced? I say November 11th, day after round 1 of the playoffs. I think it would be after the season ends. So, obviously, I think as well, yeah, you want to hire people, maybe in a sense that I think the GM will be announced first. But then the new coach, I think, will be hired in Q1. That announcement, kind of at least payroll, at least, taxes wise, I think, kind of causes for a little bit easier kind of, I guess, what do you call it? Payroll type of stuff, I guess. Accounting, that's the word. But yeah. November 11th could be a good day too, but yeah, after round 1, it's a kind of arbitrary time. I mean, I think, I think the turn of the new year is likely. The announcement might come, and maybe the actual hire when he would start, would any of them would start, would be in the 2025 year. But Lego asks, in what way will Atlanta United manage to disappoint us in 2025 despite having learned to expect disappointment from our history? Oh boy, yeah, that's quite a question there. Yeah, who hurt you? Atlanta United did. But yeah, in 2025, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully we don't get that type of that vibe. We don't get the disappointment. That would be very, very sad. So I'm just gonna, I see your question. I'm gonna put your question to the side here because yeah, hopefully it is not the case. So Indomitable 17 asks, will Atlanta United pursue Paul Pogba this winter? Memphis Depay is rumored to be a free agent too. Can he fit? Well, Paul Pogba, why not? At this point, as far as a box-to-box midfielder, it would be incredible. And can you imagine the size for us? You have Paul Pogba and Alexei Miranchuk. I mean, and then if you keep Tristan Muyumba and, also have Ajani Fortune, well, that's a pretty good midfield at that point. You have a lot of pieces that can kind of help you kind of move forward. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. I mean, yes, the injury history, the doping, but I mean, this is a uh, global football superstar with a global brand. I mean, it's very difficult to say no here. Memphis Depay, uh, as a striker, I don't dislike it. He does have kind of the things that we need in terms of running in behind. He is, of course, kind of losing some steps, unfortunately. But yeah, he had his contract. Basically, it was canceled in Mexico, or Brazil rather. And wait, let me check that. Hold on. Let me. It's been a second here with that, but. So let me just make sure. Yeah, contract canceled. Yeah, Corinthians in Brazil. But yeah, so yeah, as far as that, what do you fit? I think so. As a striker, as a lone striker, he has played on the left side as well. I think if we can get him on a non-DP, that'd be fantastic. Probably not the case, unfortunately, but yeah, if we could. Because with that contract being canceled, well, I think he kind of at this point has to take what he can get, and I'm not sure. Maybe MLS is the move, but a player that is pretty good in front of goal. I think a good history as well in the sense of with the teams that he's played for. He's played with Barcelona, Lyon, Man U, Atletico Madrid. He's played at the top level essentially, and his best season with PSV, 22 goals, 5 assists, has not come close, unfortunately, to those numbers in recent years. But in 2020 with Lyon, he got 20 goals and 12 assists. Also, 19 goals and 13 assists in 2017 and 18. So, yeah, a 30-year-old, it is, is this the type of MO that we're trying to do? Who knows at this point? It might. So, Memphis Depay, what do you guys think? Next question comes from Poch para Presidente. Asks, I don't believe Pogba is a realistic option for us. I remember his brother playing for us. But if he does come to MLS, he's going to one of the other teams. I see the same with Depay. The only way I think we could have a shot at Pogba is if we hire Vieira. So how realistic do you guys think these moves are? Realistic? Man, I put it at under 50%, that's for sure. But as far as how true these rumors are, they're not true. It's basically all speculation at this point. But the MLS writer Matthew Doyle pretty much set off a fire of essentially people hoping, wishing, and I think this is what I think you're seeing with LA United fans, is that you want to see a little bit of relevance in the global market. You want to see some big names here a little bit. Patrick Vieira, start of that again, because the past few years there just hasn't been much attention for LA United in a lot of senses. That yes, from a attendance standpoint, yes, we're still hitting those numbers, but from a talked about standpoint, it's dwindling, and it has been less and less each season. So yeah, you do kind of with the early years of Tata Martino, with just kind of that realm of relevance is still something that I think the team does need. So yeah, so question comes from let's see, Arsenor7, what is the likelihood we maximize our DPs next season? Very interesting. I think we do. I think we have to. And yeah, I think this offseason is going to be big. If we don't bring pretty much just every DP that we can, then I think it's going to be very, very difficult to win. So let's see. Next question comes from Companige. 1. Should we sign CR7? Sue. No. He pretty much will not come to America. And you know, right now it's a kind of Messi versus CR7. Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia, MLS versus Saudi Arabia. I think it's highly unlikely because of his legal troubles in America, reportedly. So, yeah, I think various reasons Ronaldo would not come to the States. But, yeah. Last question comes from Adam Stanley 96. What striker do you wish we could sign? It's definitely very, very tough to kind of decipher what Garth Lagerwey would do. I think we need a striker that can get in behind and also press pretty decently. And, you know, that's where, you know, are we going to go with a big name? Are we going to try to find a player around the league to do that for us? I think either way, it is a player that, that needs to be clinical. We need to have our striker put away goals and be a poacher as well, because I think too many times this season it's just been left wanting, where the striker doesn't have the instinct to be the man in front of goal and to put away our chances. And man, if we had put away our chances this season, it'd be a completely different story. So yeah, Memphis Depay, a decent shout at a decent age. I mean, I think there are a flurry of European players that could also fit the bill. I mean, yeah, it's kind of tough to see who that might be. But you know, say, you know, a Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, that would be interesting if we're going to go the kind of older route. You know, he's definitely that player that can finish off chances, is the poacher, can run in behind, maybe not press too well, but, you know, his time with Marseille, we'll see, but I highly doubt that one. I mean, yeah, it's really going to be tough, I think, for LA United to I think kind of show their hand either of where they're going to go in that regard. So, you know, that's the type of striker that I would like. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. But guys, that is the episode pretty much there and there, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, would you like to see Paul Pogba in 5 stripes for real? Let us know in the comments below. But guys, that is the episode. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.